Yes, what's going on? Robert Bruce right here, about to jump into another legendary conversations. It's moments like this that I live for, man. In front of me right now, I have the trendsetters, the captain and the rock stars, the sound of a generation, the people that have given us enjoyment and vibes in abundance, and long may it continue. The representation we wanted to see when we were younger, we're seeing it live in the flesh. Please give me a my name is.
Mate, after that intro. My name is Jae5, music producer slash artist.
OGD, producer slash artist, NSG.
Kruddz from NSG, everything. Everything. Actor included, everything.
Nice one. So today, 23rd of August, before we jump into the conversation, I like to capture like this moment right here. Forget everything that's happened before and what's happening in the future. How do you guys feel right now as you're sitting down right here?
Amazing. To be honest, that intro you gave actually summarized. I just knew what's going on, but yeah, no, blessed. That's all I can say. Feel blessed.
Yeah, it feels good, man. It's a good time. I'm happy with where music is. Vibes is all good. I'm trying to obviously keep things moving, push things forward. But yeah, in a good space.
Good. And what's your relation to each other?
Brothers.
All brothers.
One family, you know. Jesus.
3 of us here, but it's actually 5 of us.
There's 5 of you?
Yeah, 5 of us still.
All boys or?
All boys, bro.
5 boys?
Yeah, man.
Solid.
It was stressed in that household.
That household must have been
It
wild.
was nuts.
It was fun though. I
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
lie.
100%. I feel like that's what shaped us today, man.
Let's even start there because we'll get there. But
Yeah.
what happened? Yeah, what happened growing up? You guys. So 5 of you at home.
Yeah, to be honest, just normal childhood, like 5 stubborn boys, just enjoying life. Musically, I say the oldest, Richard, like CP, he was the one that would collect cassettes and he was just a musical person. And then everyone just being there, like obviously he would DJ, like we'd be playing FIFA, he'd be DJing in the background, like, do you know what I mean? Yeah, I think it all starts with the older brother Richard, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And what about?
I think it starts deeper. It starts from my mum.
yeah,
Is it
Firstly.
okay? So
My
what
mum,
music was
yeah,
your
bro,
mum
yeah.
playing in the house? What sounds are being played, or why does it start from your mum?
My mum was like, she's really involved in entertainment, especially the dancing part of it. So like, even from where she's from, like, she was known as one of the best dancers, cultural dancers. A dance called I Do Wild with her for a minute. So she was like, when we was younger, even at this party, she would try to get us to dance. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? She was like the live of party. She used to host parties in our house. She had the whole neighborhood come into our. You know what I mean? So she's really been involved in this stuff, and I feel like that's just lived in us now.
For real, I didn't even realise that it started there until you just said it. Because yeah, that was it coming up. My mum was definitely the one that was always lit. So it was always dancing, always trying to make us dance. Whereas Shy, she's embarrassing us.
Yeah. But all that stuff was confidence boosting, you know. Like that's why we can probably get on stage and perform or do what we're doing like, with confidence.
100%.
I mean, you can. I'm still shy. I think she scarred me. made me embarrass myself in front of people.
But I'm just picturing you at a wedding, the circle, everyone's saying,
Bro. Bro, even up to this day, she still does it. Like,
Really?
we'll go to a casual event and she'll go to a DJ, "Yo, play this song, my sons are gonna dance." I'm like, nah, I'm a big man. Like,
Where'd you guys come in the lineup? So you said CP's the
So
oldest.
CP's the oldest. I'm Jae5, I'm second.
Kruddz third. Then there's Thomas.
Thomas who's fourth. And then Dennis is fifth, baby.
Dennis is a baby. Okay, that's why he's always keeping it cool.
Yeah.
That's okay. So music wise, you said CP's DJing. What's he playing?
Everything. From what I remember, like, if I remember the earliest things he was playing, a lot of Timberland stuff. I remember he bought Missy Elliott CDs.
Yeah,
like
that's something I definitely remember.
Yeah, there was a time where if we didn't have bread, this is one thing I always remember. He had friends and he'd go and collect their CDs they weren't listening to no more. And he'd go to shops, and then even before CDs, he'd listen on radio, still on radio. And if he wanted like a DW set, he'd record the set and then cut. I don't know if people like might be showing my age, but you could splice cassettes.
Yeah.
So you record over someone else's thing, cut it, and then when you cut it, and then you wait for the next rhythm that you like, and then you record it from there. So you're making your own mixtape on the cassette. So we'd have bare different songs and like stuff that he recorded off of radio, and that was the first I remember of getting any music.
Any music?
Yeah.
And what about you boys? What was your like first memories of music.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Like triggering down from Richard and down Jonathan and that stuff. Even down to from our mum, like a lot. That's the culture style, like the hip life stuff, getting banged, that loud volume. You know what I mean?
Yeah, high life, the old
hip
school.
life, high life, all them stuff.
So in terms of artists, then, what artist made you first a fan of music?
Ooh. That's mad.
I'll say Tupac. Me, definitely Tupac.
Yeah.
It's Tupac.
I feel like my one is going to be very off because I feel like most of my childhood, what I remember was in Ghana. So I'll say someone like Castro.
Okay, you see, because he was
My
young
childhood
when we
was
was in Ghana.
young in UK, so I know my thing was different.
You see me, it went through phases. My earliest memory of things that I liked was the Timbaland, Missy Elliott stuff, and then when we went to Ghana, and then I started getting into the high life stuff. That kind of took over. But then in Ghana, it was so diverse. It was like they're playing Lucky Dube, and then they're mixing Lucky Dube into Celine Dion, and then mixing Celine Dion into 50 Cent. So
It's very weird.
So it's weird, like when you grow up in Ghana, they're banging everything.
So wait, was you born in the UK, then moved to Ghana? Or?
I was born in the UK and moved there.
And then you moved to Ghana. How old were you when you all moved, if you remember?
I can't remember how. I think I was around 9, 10.
I'll put it at 5, 6, 6.
Okay.
Oh wait, 9, 10. Nah, you were a bit younger. I was around 10 when we were 10, 11.
I definitely remember it was all 3 though.
Yeah, because I was there. I was there for 3 years. I got back when I was like 13, maybe 14 latest.
Yeah.
So roughly. Yeah,
probably younger than
Yeah. So schooling there as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was lit, man.
They done 3 years, they done 7 years. So.
You done 7?
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't hear the accent.
Yeah, so me and my older brother did 3 years, and then the rest did 7. I think it just got to a point where I think me and my older brother were kicking up a fuss more than. I think because they went when they were younger, they were a bit more comfortable there than we were. It actually felt out of place when
You'd experience.
Yeah, it felt out of place to me and my older brother when we were there. It wasn't until I got back to London that I appreciated what Ghana really was. When you're there, it's like I want to go back to London. I came back to London, I was like,
What is that then? That thing that you appreciated, what is that in your own eyes?
Everything, man.
Everything, man. What I'll say is where we grew up from, it's like not having anything, like people around you not having anything, but like, you have the fun. There's no one
happy.
Everyone's happy.
Thank you.
Like I just come
You
out.
appreciate
this
like
community.
when we went back, I wouldn't say that obviously there's a nice park that is East Legon, all that stuff. We went to a park called Teshi, and that's when you actually see different type of people.
It's
like,
culture,
like it's a culture. Like Teshi's one of them places that have heavy. It's rich in culture, not money rich. But
to tell you about
culture,
Teshi,
like
man.
God, you know what I mean. Like it's part of the 7 main lands of Accra, innit? Teshi, they have Nungwa, all that other stuff. But it's one of the main parts. And that, as he said, like the majority of people living around us don't have money, but happiness, joy, entertainment,
I'll tell you what the first
difference. You wouldn't, from my age, you wouldn't even realize what money is. It's just, you know what I mean.
Do you know what the first difference was for me? Yeah, when we landed in Ghana, the first thing everybody did was come to the house and say hi and welcome you to the neighborhood and say, I am blah blah blah. I live here. If you need this, da da da. First thing we did when we came to London, when you walk past people, what are you looking at, bro? It was very. It's like where are you from? I just got back. Like, yo, bro. Like, what? You know what? Like, it was hostile when you come back to London.
Contrast.
In Ghana, it was love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was the first. Like, this is a different place. You know what I mean?
That's so mad to think that you had that long time experience there, then to come and then be here, just like boom. Yeah. People around you. What area did you grow up here?
Newham.
Yeah. So we grew up Newham Plaistow. I think I've always grown up in Newham Plaistow. Always lived in that area. And then when they got back after, they grew up in Hackney, so just different sides.
But also East London.
Yeah, East London. Yeah.
Okay, cool, man. It's so bad. And you'll never know all of this stuff until you sit down and have a conversation.
Yeah, I know.
You wouldn't. If you could briefly give me a timeline of your careers.
Oh, wow.
The touch points, briefly, then we'll unpack a few bits.
All right, so me, Jae5, timeline of my career, I'd say, I'm 30 now, old. I'd say, really, my career actually began when I was 20, 21.
Okay.
I thought it began a lot sooner. I thought at like 16 I was doing things, I was working with people, but it really began at 2021 where if you could get 50k views on YouTube, it was something. Do you know what I mean? That was my proudest achievement. Yo, we got 50k views. That was it. I think when I hit like I think when I hit 23, 24, that's when I met Huss. That's when my career started to take off.
Okay.
But before Huss, I was doing a lot with the Afrobeat artists in the scene. Actually, because of NSG, I was trying to do dubstep and drum and bass.
At first.
And they're telling me, bro, you need to...
Like, I still remember this. I remember I came back from Ghana with an Afrobeat CD, and I remember I was in the kitchen. I don't know, he was playing something. I put it up. He was like, "Bro, this is the music."
No, I mean, they just come back from Ghana. Yeah, remember I'm living in London and I'm trying to follow what people in London do, and he's like, "Bro, what, like, fam, what are you doing? This butcha, like getting on, man." And I'm just like, "Bro, like this is what it is over here. It's like it's heavy bass stuff. You get me?" And I'm like, these are not having it. And these times, I think I'm amazing at dubstep. I'm just like, I've got good at this thing.
I'm trying to think. So that's 7 years ago. What songs are ringing off then?
Bro,
Where was that?
I think it was longer than 7 years ago. It
was longer than that,
before.
The dubstep era might have been when I was 17, 18.
Okay, yeah. So that's
So it was even earlier, but that's why I'm saying my career began when I was 21, because before that I was doing the dubstep and all that stuff.
But he ended up making me taking the dubstep as well. I love dubstep.
Bro, I was on it.
Skrillex and all them, man.
Skrillex, Mega Man, like Magnetic Man, Benga. Bro, I was taking them in, and
a lot of point in time, Grime slightly became dubstep. You know.
Yeah. So like P Money.
Yeah.
And then I was in that phase, and I was actually around because my uncle was in music, so Blemish. So I was around P Money and these guys, and it was the easiest thing for me to just, if I make a good enough dubstep beat, they would jump on it and get it to them.
Yeah.
But where I'm the kid in the studio, they're not really taking my thing serious, because I'm the kid who's just Blem's little cousin that thinks he can make beats, man. Do you know what I mean? They're not taking my thing, so I'm just recording people's songs. There was bare songs that are popping off that I recorded, but I didn't produce. So these guys would come, my brothers would come and it's like, "Yo, bro, stop this nonsense, taking the African thing, that's where you're from, blah blah blah." So I'm around a group called Wary. I'm working with them. Actually, the guy who runs Backchat, he actually was an artist. I'm working with Vibe Squad, so like Mr. Silver, I'm working with them, just like they're close to home, working with them, working with NSG. But even at this time, I think you lot were just recording songs on the computer.
Yeah. So what point are you guys in your career at this point?
We was just around happy. Like we was just about the vibes. Like for NSG, before we even released stuff, we was just known for the vibe. People turn up a party.
I used to come to the videos. And
you know what's nuts?
He was a dancer.
The OG was even more known as a dancer. Like they'll be like, remember them phase like Ghana Pie in the park and that stuff. We didn't have music out. We'd be more gassing Dennis up. Go on stage and dance. Like that's what it was. We was more, but it was more. And like, we was happy. I think he was working with artists. Like, we were just happy to turn up to the video and just vibe.
Okay.
But we always loved music, so it was more about them times was just more. I don't think we released anything. We were just, but it was definitely a collective. We was always together, turning up the events.
You know what? Even though you hadn't released anything, you know what? There was one day I went home, and I just opened up my Logic, and I'm seeing Open Recent in it. So I'm seeing tunes, I've seen 4 or 5 songs. These man have recorded songs.
I remember when I was younger, I never bought a mic. I bought a Mac room, and Jae5 already had equipment in the room, so I bought a Mac. So there was always like a mini studio in our room, so we always recorded for vibes. We definitely always was recording.
I think there was one tune, they were taking the mic, and I was listening to it, I was like, wait, these guys they could run. This could run. I just remember that because I can tell they're joking, but I'm like, bruv, this could run. So like, I'm like, every once in a while, man would check in and see what guys are working on, or they'll say, "Yo, listen to this. What do you think?" And I'm like, I'll be honest, I'm a prick, bro. So like, early days, the players are like, this is shit.
Or this guy like Jae5 start 100%.
Like,
I think it's definitely played a part in shaping us, but quality control definitely came from that.
From early,
okay.
But sometimes you come back, sometimes you come back, you don't see your verse. Where is it? Jae5's deleted it.
No, do you know what? Like from early, and they used to do it to me, and I don't think they realised when I first started making beats, these lot would get timpans, and run around in the room beside me, go gong gong gong, and they were calling me alien beats. Man were mocking. I remember they made a song, "Aliens Come Out to Play."
That was the melody, but the melody was on some weird sound like dun 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 dun. And we started screaming.
I'm listening to Timbaland and that. He's doing these Indian melodies. That's my influence. Do you get me? These men are mocking my beats. So like I'm like, but that honesty, I had to step it up. So now when you come and you're doing your thing and you're not good, I'm not gonna
giving it back.
you to receive some. Do you know what I mean? Do you get me? So like what it was like, I feel like they were always sick, they were always good, but because they're all friends, I feel like they weren't honest with each other at that point in time. It was just that's hard. just because you did it.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, bro, that's not hard. Your verse is deleted. Like, why would delete it? But the person would write another verse and it would be nuts. And I'd be like, bro.
See an improvement and
Yeah, and I was never comparing them to their age mates. I was comparing them to people who are putting out professional songs. So they're comparing themselves to their age mates and their friends. They say, we're better than them, man. I'm saying, bro, but you're not better than my man. Do you know what I mean? So like it was fun. That period was a vibe. It was like, I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't harsh, but it was probably the truest we've been musically.
Okay.
And I feel like that nature even stems from, as I was saying, us growing up as 5 brothers. Growing up 5 brothers, like the truth is sometimes the banter is harsh. You know what I mean? So we can take that little thing, bro. The banter is nuts, cussing each other out, but it's normal. It don't phase us. We'll fight the next day. Like with the coolest people ever.
Yeah, in our household, if you saw us, my mom says all the time, we could have a fist fight. And 30 minutes later, we walk into the shop together. Nothing goes beyond that.
People say that we look more like friends than brothers. That's how we was raised. You know what I mean? People see us think you're friends more than brothers. Which was a sick thing. Is that it was nuts.
Okay, sick. So when we get to, let's use NSG's first drop as a time point. How did we get to the first drop, and what had you done at that point?
So the first drop that I remember, proper drop, not the first one that was messing around, was Wine and Cotton.
That was actually the NSG first drop.
That was the NSG first drop. So before there was 15 man on the song, they'll put all their names on the song. The song looked like lyrics. Like the name looked like lyrics. But NSG, when they structured their thing, their first song was Wine and Cotton. And I remember like it was an Abashman beat that was popping off in the clubs.
Literally Wine and Cotton.
So yeah, and they were just like, bro, we're just gonna do our Afro thing, African version. And it seemed banterish at the time. It was like banter. But when they dropped it, when they did it and dropped it, and the currency at that time was just how much people talk about you. There's no streaming platform. Bro, my Twitter, like I'm just looking, I'm like, yo, these guys have blown.
It was crazy.
I thought it was good.
Literally, it was like one of the best things, like starts you can get in terms of like when no one knows who you are. Like, because it was a thing. Everyone, like I'm talking about, like you know that times Black Twitter was a thing as well. It was like because everyone was like, raw, these Africans have taken, and you know the times like. The separation was still a bit there. You know, the Africans, Caribbeans was there.
It was the transition.
It was these Africans have jumped to one of our best bashment songs and doing them. So on Twitter was like literally some Caribbeans saying, wow, I didn't do some Caribbeans like, wow, this is actually hard. Some Africans saying, no, they should have left to the Caribbeans. Some Africans saying, no, this is actually hard though.
So controversial.
So nuts.
And like at this time, remember, I'm dropping songs with artists,
who are you dropping?
So I'm dropping songs with maybe like Bassman. But Afro be like Mr. Silver.
What songs as well?
I don't even remember the titles, if I'm being honest with you. Like, I'm involved in songs on a slide here and there because we're producing under a name Jae5. I'm not Jae5. So I'm doing co-productions on some of them I'm producing. And I'm putting bare effort into it and I'm just kind of checking on my brother's thing. Then they drop the thing and it's going nuts. I'm like, I need to take this man's thing seriously. Because bro, I'm putting bare energy into everyone else and it's okay, but this they got, you know what I mean? So I think from that first drop, I woke up and I was just like, yo, you know, send me the songs before you drop it. Because you've got something in it. So from their first drop, also like, it was like, okay, cool, I'm taking their thing serious, but also I respected their music a bit more. So like when I'm doing songs, I'm now sending it to them and say, yo, I beg you to check this one because I'm not sure.
No more alien beats.
Yeah. Because also remember at that point, I'm now trying to come into the Afro thing more. I'm coming from drum and bass, so I'm telling them, yo, check this. Is the groove right? Is the make sure? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just at that point from their first drop, it became real collaborative. Like even before I met Huss, they are the ones who actually told me to work with. So Huss's DJs were telling me to work with Huss. But I was tired of rappers at this point in time. So I'm just like, bro, I'm tired, bro. Every day is shank your mum, shoot this stuff. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm making money outside. I don't really need to go studio. And they're like, nah, bro, trust me. Like, I've heard that guy.
I remember that.
Guy's hard.
There was one party we went to, past that was just there. And as in then times, we had a little buzz, like UK. You know that UK the Unity was there. So then times, Huss has not even released music like that. So Huss he's put it out. I don't know if he's heard our name, but we used to work. He DJs with the same DJs. He's heard our stuff in it. So he's there, and the DJ's like, oh, that's energy. Look, then Huss has come. This guy is just spitting to us. When I say, but I'm like, well, there's no beat. I remember there was no beat. The guy was rapping for 2 minutes straight. I was like, this is not even. It's not even about what he's doing. It's about the passion.
The passion, bro.
If you hear how he was rapping, like this, like just going, I was like, this guy's hard. I don't even care about what he was saying. Like, you know when someone is just rapping and you can feel like the emotion. I felt something like this, the emotion, like, and people can get that from us to now, like that rawness. That's what he blew from a lot of his freestyles. That rawness that people got from his freestyles. That's what he gave. First time I heard, I was like, nah, Jae5. I came home, like, bro, you have to work with this guy.
See that you're ignoring, yeah? He's like, yo, see that you ignoring, bro, trust me, bro. He's hard. He's hard.
And it was a perfect blend of what Jae5 was doing at that time. That working Afrobeats, but he still had a UK sound to it. You know what I mean? The guy, the cuss was really UK, but he loved his African culture. He loved it so much. And I'm like, this makes sense.
So, literally, even from then, the first session I did with Huss, I didn't produce anything. I just called him and made him record. So I recorded a few songs and we recorded Dem Boy Pagan. Okay. And even Dem Boy Pagan, I told him I didn't like the beat. I don't think he should do it. And he was like, nah, trust me. I know what I'm doing on this one. So he starts recording and he's in Dem Boy Pagan. I'm like, yo, he's kind of wavy. I'm taking him in. Do you get me? But I'm thinking about everything but him. I'm a producer. I'm listening to the beat and I'm going to beats. Sound like £10. He's like, bro, trust me. Fam, when that guy dropped that song, whoo,
The rest is history.
Shook up everything.
I was in the block when I heard that song.
Bro,
Yeah, it was for real.
Trust me, man. Played out like, nah, this guy's violated.
You know what it is with us? You know what it is, yeah? Like, I can only tell a song's a banger the day after or my drive back. So the day after, when I'm driving to the studio's an hour away from my house, yeah? If I bang that song for the whole hour drive there, keep on repeating it, song's a hit. Dem Boy Pagan, I banged it home, banged it back to studio. And then I called him, so before it was released, I called him and just like, it got to a point where I was calling him to come studio because I enjoyed music again. Yeah, I was like, yo, this is fun again. Before it was just like, I'm just gonna record this thing, you're gonna pay me my £20 an hour and you're gonna get out. Do you get me? It made music fun. People don't know all of that side of it. Like I proper was not gonna do Huss if it wasn't from YBE, his DJs first. And then these guys telling me, yo bro, you're sleeping. This guy's hard, bro. He's different. He's better than the rest. I'm like, nah, man. And this time I'm taking him bassman. Bassman's singing. He's just.
I was House's PR, bro.
Bro. I was in uni and then
college.
I went to my big shop bang the speakers. It was the rawness, bro. Man, and you know when you meet Huss as well, his confidence, and I feel like everyone needs that. UK guys. All this humble thing, but Huss's confidence, I feel that's what's made him as well. That confidence, and it's not just like, oh, I feel I'm the best. It's just. He believes his shit, and it comes in his music. He knows he's hard.
Actually at studio, this guy has no one. He's literally, I think he's writing, and he just laughs.
Oh, yeah,
says, I'm gonna blow.
And it's confidence. There's difference. Like I'm gonna blow everything. Like imagine you're just writing. Like everyone's quiet, right? And he laughs. Everyone looks at him. He's like. I'm gonna blow you, though. That's what he said. I swear to God, you didn't see what I'm saying, and I'm like, bro,
that's someone that's gonna blow.
I'm telling you,
this is before he has a hit.
Even before, like, I remember when we was doing. A lot of people don't know, like, you see Notes, Addison Lee.
Yeah.
Bro, I remember when we was doing Boof Daddy, the song, yeah, and Notes was sitting outside, and us is saying, I told the city and Addison Lee in the tune, and Notes just bops and was like, yo, this is hard.
And then,
and then. Couple months or whatever, he drops it, Addison Lee, but we haven't dropped Boof Daddy. And Addison Lee becomes a hit. You get me? And then Huss, because of that, Huss was like, I'm not dropping Boof Daddy. He's like, we're not putting the song out. He said it before, man. I'm like, bro, it don't matter. But like, this is how sick the guy was. It's like everyone around was just sitting there, just listening. And I don't even think Notes purposely did it.
He definitely
he's just vibes. The guy's vibes, and then he'd walk out the room. We had 3 studios in a row, and he would go and call everyone from the other rooms. I'm like, come listen to what I'm doing. This is hard. That confidence. But like, and everyone see like NSG being there and all of that. Like, nah, sing it this way, do it this way. Everyone putting input.
Everyone collaborating, sort of thing.
I think his first collaboration was with NSG. Yeah. Like Joe jumped on an Afro thing that made him, because he's a big 50% thing. So when I first met him, that's what he's focused on. So interview. Sorry, we're gonna have to come back. So yeah. I've lost my train of thought, but
if you said Afro beats, that's how it's all, everyone's collaborating and whatnot. That's such good insight. Would you ever record in underneath the church?
That's where we were.
That's where he was.
That was the base. That's where everything early was done with NSG. Everything early that I produced.
What songs came out of that studio underneath the church?
Oh, bro, Yo Darling.
Yeah. Yo, Darling didn't come from that.
Are you sure?
Nah, That was like we had the earlier tracks. I would say like more like
more like Love and Affection.
Love and Affection. Oh, that's
all the
early.
UK Afrobeat stuff.
Huss's whole first mixtape was produced a mixtape.
Yeah, Huss the 15th day.
15th day was produced a mixtape.
Okay.
Yeah, the
my
mixes are
friends
horrible,
filmed one of his first.
They were bad
My
mixes.
friends filmed one of his first freestyles, I think, in that studio.
Yeah.
And literally the same thing like how you're describing how you went and told people. That's how they came back and told us. I don't know if you remember Fresh Boy Entertainment before YBE. Nah. Oh, Fresh Boy, they all knew him as well.
Okay.
But that was like when I was in school and stuff. Like they were creatives and whatnot. But yeah, I remember seeing YBE come up and then following the UK Afro scene and all of that sort of stuff. Let's move it on to Yo Darling.
Yeah.
What's happening for you guys and what have you done at that point?
So me as Jae5, I think I'm becoming established. So we've done a lot of obviously Huss stuff. It's taken
And it's
off.
not you're not under JOAT
No, I'm
anymore.
not on
at that
JT,
point.
so that fell through because it just got to a point where everyone was doing different things, but we were tagging it under the same thing. So Randy's a reggae artist. Randy's doing reggae. Blem is managing Randy, and I'm producing Afro. But it got too confusing. So it's like everyone do your thing. But I think I'm doing all right. Like I've done all right as a producer. They've got like street cred, like this in terms of the street music. It's taken off. But I think it was the first one where I don't know. You didn't even explain it. Your Darling's a different type of song.
Yeah, I feel like Your Darling was our first. We've always had that black. I was saying we've always been in the culture. That one, the unity. Your Darling was the first thing to kick off like the mainstream. Okay, now it's more than just the black audience that listen to us. UK is.
You know what? It's gonna sound weird, but it was the first song outside of Hustler when I'd see Asian cars.
Like I'm saying,
bare Asians
it's not
banging.
just it's not just that our ecosystem. It's gone further than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what Your Darling was. So like it's the first like mainstream song I've seen we had. You know what I mean?
And how did you get to that point? At this point, it's U6 who we see now still in it because there's been a bit of fluidity, but it's U6. You've been recording. Have you done shows at that point?
Yeah,
we done shows.
We used to do a lot of them. As I said,
the thing about it, before that Your Darling track, we just went on Gecko Brass on tour.
Yeah.
Oh, did you have 630 with?
No,
that was after.
That was after.
Okay, but Gecko took you on tour anyway, based off of the other ones.
Gecko had a song, Baba, why you
being a big,
that song was
Gecko had before Your Darling, Gecko had a big buzz. Like,
he was
his way he's from Manchester.
Oh,
that's when I saw
he had a fan base.
This guy is really popping.
Like that was like our very first. We used to do like uni busing, uni books and stuff. But I'm talking about like a different type of fan base apart from that uni fan base. It was Gecko. That's the first time I went on tour. I was like, rah, this is what people actually do. This music. That's it.
I was actually thinking this is crazy.
Nah, big up Gecko 10 times. It was eye opening. It was also motivating as well.
That was mad eye opening. After that, nothing was the same.
So after the tour, like I just think we bonded so well.
Came back and you're like,
and we made a song together.
Yeah.
And after Your Darling came after that.
Straight after the tour.
Who produced Your Darling?
Oh, that was me. Yeah.
That was you. Okay, sick. So then, is that your first collaborative success?
Yeah.
Professionally.
First,
it depends what you measure.
Okay,
so I was gonna actually ask.
It was the first song that I made money from NSG.
Okay, cool.
So I got a lot of clout and credit because they were the ones that were in the cultural. They were, do you know what I mean? That cultural currency. But it was the first one where I got a paycheck. I was like, yo, this is actually moving. And even to date, it's nuts. That song constantly streams a certain amount. So like the other day, I found out the song went platinum.
Yeah.
That song didn't even. I don't even think. Yeah. It didn't even go in the top 100 in the charts. But it streams constantly.
See what Your Darling was one of them songs that it just keeps on. It's kept on going. It's not stopped. You know what I mean? As you said, it didn't enter top 100, but it's on platinum. That's what
There's songs that have been top 20 that ain't platinum.
It's so funny when a song can affect so much people. Your Darling would have been my radio break because you remember we did that interview early. It was because Your Darling was so big that I can approach my boss with confidence and say, yo, look, we need to get these band in, and then they took a gamble on it. So
you showed love. You've always showed love, to be honest.
Yeah, from early, man. Because I was in the uni wave when you guys were doing the street stuff. So I was hearing all of it, and then obviously got my job, and then I think I met you for the first time. P Montana did a Red Bull thing, maybe. Is that timeline matching up?
Yeah, people
probably. P Montana was active around them times.
Yeah. And P was another DJ that we looked to a lot, and then so it's just mad how it all interlinks and whatnot.
Yeah.
So so that's the first measure of that success. But what about personal success? What's the first time? Or in fact, scrap that. What's the first time you realised this is my job?
Oh,
Like, this is what I'm gonna eat off of.
I let them
the
answer
rest
first.
of my life.
I know it's different for me. It's different.
Do you know what's nuts? I'll say, and this is back to, we didn't remember, we had a little buzz in our ecosystem. I'll say when the first time I realized this our job was some event, called Ghana Party in the Park. Basically, like, we said was not performing, like, they were trying to give us some rubbish conditions, said we're not performing. We said we're not performing, Twitter went wild. We actually was trending because we said we're not performing. Then we came back and said, you know, the people called us again and we end up performing. And when we performed that day, I swear to God, because Ghana Party in the Park is a little thing, but it still has like 10,000 people.
Nah, it's not little, man.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's what
big,
it
man.
Okay, when I say little, I always keep on saying it, but within our thing, our like well-being is big, isn't it? But like in terms of the masses of UK,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But so it has a crowd of like 10,000, 15,000 people, and we performed, and I swear to God, it was going off. Like it was going.
that.
That's when I thought, okay, this can be it.
It was
That's
artists
for me.
There was artists that were 10 times bigger than them.
Yeah.
And they were not getting the
Bro,
same love.
it was
I
going
know
off,
what you mean.
and it went off so much because of the whole controversy of us not. We said we're not
So
performing.
performing.
Like back in the days, like a lot of artists used to get taken for like dickers with that kind of.
Yeah.
They used to think I have a platform. I'm bringing 10,000, 3,000, whatever you do, you do. I remember they tried to say we can only perform one song. We can't perform even a full song. We have a minute or something on stage. We were like, a lot of artists say, you know, I'm doing it. We said we're not doing it. We stood up for ourselves, innit? And that creates so much of a fuss. And after that whole fuss, us coming back performing again, the performance went off. It was not. I think that was my first point.
So that's your first. What about you, Dennis?
Me, I would still say something like you're done because me doing music, I've been doing this forever, and it was just fun for me. Like, it would never felt like a job. Then I felt like, okay, this shit is actually working out. Like before, I swear down, when I was doing music, I don't think about music. I would literally go out my whole life in studio. I wasn't thinking about. I don't know. I can't explain.
Yeah.
I just did it because it was
second
just
nature,
me in it.
Yeah.
But I know about the money. Then I thought, oh shit, this is actually business. That's what I think. Like first label me and like was from Your Darling.
Yeah. 100%.
Oh, okay. So that's when that world opens up.
That's
Like,
what I'm
I
saying.
was never
That was
like.
like our first mainstream type of song. That's when the labels start talking to us, all that stuff.
That's when I thought, alright, cool. So now you go move the same way because it's actually business.
Yeah, got you. And so, Jay, you're darling for you as well? Or?
Nah, you know,
This
it's
guy
not.
was popping.
No, you see, like, I was popping with the JR stuff, yeah.
Oh,
but,
yeah, because it's been dropping.
But the truth is, yeah, I started. Mine is a monetary thing, like money. Like I started making a bit of money before actually started popping. So when I was making money from the thing, it was like, yeah, it's okay, it's decent money.
It's not normal to you, but it's more normal.
And then Did You See happened, and then I was like, this is what people get paid when they have a hit. And I woke up. I said, yeah, it's now making sense because I've had figures in my head and I've had like, what's 10? What's this? Because I was making it outside of music, and then when the music started to it made no sense to do anything else. It was like, why are you wasting your time doing that nonsense you're doing there? So like, Did You See was the first thing that was just like, bruh, this is what people really get paid.
Change the game.
So I said, this is my job, man. This is because even when I was doing the stuff, I would in the back of my head I need a plan B just because I might be just getting lucky. You know, like I'm still in the. It's mad, but I'm still doubting myself. I'm still like, I've had a good run still. It might just end. And then like, Did You See happen in the album, and people are saying, yo, this guy is actually good at this. I'm like, bro, like, alright, cool. Forget everything else. I'm doing just this because not only am I making money, they actually think I'm good. And not only do they think I'm good, I'm actually doing it I ain't even done it on the level I know I can do. I'm doing it on 10%. Like, we're crooking a lot of this stuff. Like, I'm trying to make some fake strings sound live. And like, do you know what I mean? I'm like, bro, like, nah, I can do this, man.
Okay.
Yeah, so
that's quite interesting. Label talks start happening for you guys. Does it happen for you as a producer?
I was already signed, but I didn't sign for a lot of money. So as I said, like, I signed for opportunity. I'm easy. When I first signed my deal, like, honestly, I only signed for 25 bags. So like, it wasn't big money. I probably had more money at the time than what I signed for. But I was just like, I want an opportunity, so I'm gonna sign this deal. So when I was making bits of money here and there, it never was. It was like,
got you.
Yeah.
Until Did You See,
and I was like, blood. Yo. Like, because you get PRS checks, and then I'm looking at it, and it's going up every quarter. I'm like, yo, this, bro. I'm starting to check my statements. Like, they must have made a mistake.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So and then I was just like, I have to focus on this thing because I don't even think this is 10% of where we're going, and so that woke me up.
Okay, got you. When did you start producing?
Before I was rapping.
Before you was rapping, okay.
Yeah.
So Foreplay, was it? You had production cuts before then, or?
No, it's before Foreplay was just me.
Yeah,
Oh, it's just you. Okay, okay.
I literally like Foreplay came about because I went to college with one of my guys. Like we used to just do music and he can play keys. I'm literally just a producer. You tell me to play the keys right now, I'm dead.
Yeah.
But I can like catch chords and whatever. So like we used to go to college together and you could play keys. And one day we just made a beat and that was like one of the quickest beats I've made because he can play keys. And the beat was mad and I was thinking, bruv, like what are you doing? Just come studio. Because you know what I'm saying? He's just a church boy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like he's a church guy that just plays keys. And from then we started and he brought his cousin and yeah, whatever. Now it's 4 of us.
Okay.
But for production, probably NSG was me and Jae5. So anything you probably hearing from the start.
Yeah.
Me and Jae5.
All of the
like,
NSG
everything.
stuff, the early NSG stuff. So Dennis would start the beats because I would be focusing on other stuff, and then I would finish it off. So he'd start it, and then I just touch it up here and there. Bow, okay, cool, let's knock it out. So he was producing from early.
What collab production comes after Your Darling? NSG drop wise, if that makes sense. What did you both work on together that became an NSG single after Your Darling?
We were working together more from the early
Earlier.
stages.
After Your Darling,
okay.
I got busy. So I'm now focusing on Huss's album.
Yeah.
And I'm not about, so he's just kind of running it and just sending it to me saying, what do you think? And I'm saying, I think you should turn this up, do this. So it's less collaborative at that point because now I'm like, I'm trying to prove something here.
Yeah.
So I think it got less collaborative when I was focusing on Huss. But I've always been like that. I'm not the best at multitasking. Like, when I'm working with NSG, I'm working with NSG. When I'm working with Huss, I'm working with Huss. I've never been a producer that's been able to be doing bare things. I just don't know how to. I'm trying to work on that now because it's more productive. But my whole career has been focused on this. I looked up to Timbaland and them guys and Dr. Dre. When they were doing a Snoop Dogg album, they were doing that.
Yeah.
So that's just how I thought. That's what a producer was, innit? P Diddy's doing Biggie, and that's what he's focused on at that time.
Yeah.
So we weren't collaborating that much because that's how my mindset was at the time.
Yeah. So let's run into that Huss album season for you. What's happening for you, man, at that time, or what's happened before we run into the Huss album?
The Common Sense.
Yeah. Before we get to Common Sense, what have you guys dropped? What are you doing? How's life changing, and all of that sort of stuff?
I think it was a floating period. So like Your Darling's come out, Your Darling's big for them, and they're putting out songs. So nothing's like been a big hit, but
As Your
nothing's
Darling.
bad. Everything's ticking over Your Darling. I think that period, it was like you was having moments. I think you had notes pushing up. Yeah. So they're putting out good songs. Do you know what I mean?
Actually, 630 was after Your Darling, then Pushing Up. 630 done quite well.
Yeah, 630 was did well. So
there was like
they're doing it. Yeah, I'm downplaying it. They're doing it. They're doing it alright.
630 still plays
Was
today on
that
radio
50
as
something
well.
charts
Yeah.
as well.
No,
That
no,
was
they're doing
our
right.
highest charting thing. As well after that. Then we had Pushing Up, them stuff. Yeah, so it was just there dropping music here and there. And there was a lot of shows. We was doing a lot of shows.
Yeah.
Many times we was doing a lot of supporting shows as well.
Yeah.
We done a Huss tour. We done a Hardy tour.
Okay.
Yeah.
We done the Carnival. We just was doing a lot of shows here and there, especially after Your Darling came out. So that period, that's what it was. It was shows and dropping songs here and there.
And what do you experience for the first time? Like, what do you remember anything from that time period where it's like, right, this is the first, like, nah, this is mad. Do you have any of those memories?
After I was performing Your Darling, a lot of stuff we take around Your Darling. Like, that's the first time we performing the song and like, bro, like it's just white people but they know the lyrics.
Yeah.
But usually when we've been doing this for time where we're actually used to like a decent crowd. You know, like stamina raves and them times.
2000,
That's like
3000,
2000 people still know the lyrics, but this time it's different. It's a white crowd that know our lyrics. So you know what I mean. So it felt like, okay, is this a bit different now as well? You know what I mean. The music is branching out. You know what I mean. So that's what I feel like. That's the stage it was at. It was branching out to a wider UK audience.
Oh, we've got you. Yeah. And then running into Common Sense, then what's happening in life around there?
My life is pretty dull at that point in time because I'm sleeping. Me and Huss are sleeping in the studio every other day. Like I'm going home to shower every 3 days and coming back to the studio. Like that album was probably the most important thing to me outside of my family at that time. So nothing else mattered. Don't call me for nothing. I'm not raving. I'm not going out. This is what I'm doing because I'm like, yo, there's a label paying for videos and paying for stuff. This is not me keeping on more chipping in 5 bills free. Like we've got budget. So I'm thinking, okay, cool. This is time to show off. Like, Huss, listen, we're going in. We're like it was life was dull. Nothing but studio. That's all we were doing.
Okay. And then when you run to release, how long's the working period and then release, and then how does that feel once everything's out?
We worked. I say Common Sense album. We worked maybe 3-4 months non-stop, just constant. But it was weird because I think he went jail in between those 3-4 months.
Yeah.
So it's like we started, then he went jail, and we got back into it, straight back into it. So yeah, it was, yeah. What's the main question?
Like how did things change after that album?
After the album, things changed instantly. All of a sudden, so like, remember before Hustle, I'm trying to get in with people. I'm messaging artists, I want to do a session. The labels are telling me, yo, we're going to put you in this person. I didn't do squat. No one's turning up to sessions. Man are booking sessions, not turning up. Artists I'm reaching out to saying, yeah, and just blanking it. Bro, as soon as that Hustle album dropped, bruv, I didn't have a day free for like a year. All of a sudden, everybody's my best friend. Everybody, I knew you was the hardest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it changed. I love it. Do you know what I mean? But it was like, you see you lot, yeah.
This is how it works.
Yeah, this is how it works. You don't take it personal.
Yeah.
But it's also one of the reasons I didn't work with a lot of people.
Okay.
So now I'm holding you to that same standard you held me. I don't even think you're that good.
Yeah.
I'm not linking you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not
Moving
linking
the story along a little bit, it's gonna sound like a weird question. When did music take you abroad for the first time? Because I always think that going abroad on music and work, it's a different perspective. Because people say travelling's good in general, innit? But when the music's taking you there, do you remember?
I actually can't remember the first show abroad.
I'm trying to think.
You've done a lot. It gets to the point you've done so many.
So much, yeah, it'll be hard to
I'm trying to think
recall.
of the first one.
Or even, if not the first one, a memorable one.
I think it was that whole Options Ultimate period.
Okay.
Like that after that we was doing shows everywhere. Literally, I think one of the best ones we've done was from Old My Festival. On my life, that tent,
rocking.
It was nuts. It was nuts. Like Old Man had bare big like artists and that stuff, but when we was performing, even the people couldn't even fit in the tent, and that stuff was nuts. Even the wireless as well. Of that after that Ultimate Old Man that period, it was man. I think Old Man's definitely up there. One of them. Nigeria as well. Nigeria and Ghana as well. The first 2020, the first time going back there. All 19 going 2020. It was crazy. That was like we ain't been back home for like a decade, like almost 10 years.
Ooh, since
We're not only just come back. We come back as like in a way
So
superstars. we didn't. We're not only.
I forgot about that.
We're not only just returning. We're returning, and everyone knows our music.
I was in the plane, fam, thinking like when I landed in Ghana, I'm thinking, bruv,
like
I'm actually coming here for a show.
Honestly, I think that's one of the best moments.
Like, I wasn't saying anything,
You know
but
when
in my
I
head,
knew-
I was thinking.
You know what I knew it was nuts for you lot, yeah? I'm walking the street and man are chasing me saying NSG. I'm like, bro, I'm somebody too, bro. Man were chasing my car saying NSG. NSG. I'm like, bro, these man are popping.
That's it. Do you go home to Tessie at that time? Do you get chance to touch her?
Every time
When I went back, I mean, the feeling was nuts. You know, and you know, when you're younger, like things seem way bigger. When you grow up, I was like, oh, this
was
it looks very small, but it was crazy. Like when I got there, I saw I had a mad feeling, but it was a great feeling. I was like, wow, I'm back.
Do you have friends from your childhood still?
Yeah.
Like they're looking
still
at you.
the same place.
I went there, I saw
Tessie remains
everyone.
Tessie. Like it's one of
It's
the
a
communities,
community.
like such a community. Like they ain't
they're
even going nowhere for shit.
They're happy, bro.
They ain't going nowhere for shit. That's
They'll
them.
grow up, they'll
That's one
do
thing that
something.
I missed though. See, like, because I left when I was young. Like, I got there, I was in and out quick, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't even remember half my friends. So man will say, yo, I'm blah, 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 I went to school with you. And I'll be like, and then they look at me awkward, like, oh, you've changed, like, oh, you're doing diva. And I'm like, I generally can't remember, my G. But these lot remember all the time. I'm looking, I'm like, bro, I wish I was this lit, man. These lot are going club and they're rolling with the whole area. The whole area. They brought the whole hood to the club. And they're like, yo, this is my man. Remember him? I'm like, bro, I can't remember.
Wow.
Yeah, that's one of the best moments. That old man, definitely that one.
Okay. And then for you, Jay, not moving on past us, but when did you start getting the different cuts? One song I always remember is Shaka Luna Jewel, Man Down, maybe because it was on the radio. And it just felt, it felt different. When did you start moving into all of
Hus
that?
went Joe again. I had some free time. You see, like, but obviously, don't wish jail on anyone. When Hus went Joe, that period, that free time I had, I think that might have been the most important part of my career, you know, because it's like, even up to date, people still do it, yeah. it's almost like people make it seem like I'm nothing without Hush. You ain't done nothing. You have no songs. Everything, like up to this day. The other day I read a comment and man was like, yo, you owe Hush your life. And I was looking at it, I was like, bruv, like, you're acting like he's spitting acapellas on stage. like I didn't make the beat. Do you know what I mean? But that always used to bug me because it was like, yo, bro, like, because I've chosen to work with one person, don't mean I can't do it with anyone else. And that phase we had, I remember, like, I was having a run, fam. We had options. I had options at like number 6, then I had location at number 5. Like I was just having a Shaka Man Down come out, like just firing up. I was like, bruh.
And you know what I was saying? The difference between Jae5 hits, you know, you can have people in the top 10 and our hits is like when you go into the clubs as well. You know, some people have just radios.
Yeah.
I don't know how he was doing it. He had the radio
Radio
slash club it. So when it comes in the club and it's taken over, like, this is nuts. Even options used to come on the club.
It's different.
It's like that was people's highlights of the whole night.
Like,
you feel it.
Let's even talk about options. Let's talk about options because that's another collaboration.
That was.
How did it come together? What was the reaction after it? How did it change you guys' lives? Like,
That's one of the biggest
That was a
moments
normal
of my life.
session.
I still feel like that song is like it's not my favorite song I've put out, but that's the greatest achievement. It was like, you know what? It's like people just. I tried to not feed into. I'm looking at all the negative. Oh, these guys, they're not serious. Looking at it. Then you get in with your brothers. And at that point in time, they're not the biggest artists neither. So people are telling me, oh, you can only do it with Huss. NSG is not having. They've not had a so both of us. We both need a hit. At this point in time, do you know what I mean? We both need this. Like, yo, and it's your brothers. We need this. Getting the song, we're vibes and we're knocking out the song. Yeah. I can't remember whose idea. It might have been Kruddz or someone. It's like, yo, we just need someone from the street on this one.
It was all of us energy collectively.
Just like we just need
That's
some.
where we come from, the tour, innit?
Yeah, and I can't like. Sometimes you gotta keep on releasing to understand. Because I remember just before that release, we dropped Natural Disaster, which is like a girl song, and we thought what was going on. Like the radio and that was playing it, but
the man them
you're
was
not connecting. Man them are not going to their boys out to say, let me play this song.
actually go on
As a musician, you want to feel like your man them can also go to and play like,
And
nah,
Disaster didn't do bad. They were giving
yeah, no, I say on the streams and all that stuff. Radio,
I never heard it nowhere.
but none of the man them were not coming. Man, I feel like that they'll come to y'all and play one of our songs if they like it. They're not playing it. You know what I mean? The girls might, but the man them were not playing like, nah, we need something for the man.
Like, yeah, just remember, like, we knocked out the song, knocked out the bulk of the song actually quite quickly. It was a quick session. I'm pressing the keyboard, pressing this cheap sound, this da da.
And I remember that song also made me understand that vibes also create a song. I remember that song before we even laid any lyrics. We was just dancing. Jae5 was just going and producing. I swear we didn't sing no lyrics. We was just dancing
for 2-3 hours.
This just dance and it's like it's nuts that energy transforms today. Like people hear the song and just dancing.
You know what's crazy? I remember this point. Yeah, I actually think made the song. You know, I originally was the beat was very high life, and I was trying to put like a high life type bass on it. And Kruddz was like, bro, I think it's just 808. You know, just more relevant. It's 808, and bro, if I put that high life bass on it, I think the song would have been way too Afro.
Too much.
Would have been too. Like those blend of what's
those little moments in the studio, and that only comes because man's vibing, he's vibing, and I'm doing bare bass lines, and I'm looking, I'm like, nothing is catching, bro. He's like, bro, just 808 the thing, man. Do you get me? Done that for 2-3 hours, vibes, and they've laid vocals, yeah. Like, yeah, it sounds calm. I'm not taking it in like that properly, but on my drive home, yeah, playing the beat, I'm vibes in. I even have the text. I text.
Yeah, I remember you messaged me.
I text him and said, yo, this song's a bloody hit. Then I text composer. I sent the audio to composers. Like, yo, listen to this shit man just made. You not need to come and play some sounds in it. Composers message me back and say, yo, bro, it sounds finished. I don't know what I'll do. Like, I still have the log. Then we're talking, brainstorm. We're like, yo, you know Tion. Just quite out Joe. He's a vibey guy. And we've been seeing him at parties for the past.
And Tion was linking him. What was going on, you know, like that whole Afro sound.
And also the energy, like, I think 3-4 days before that, we're linking him at parties and we're partying with him.
Nice.
So it's like, yo, bro, Tion's our guy.
It made sense, man. That was just it was meant to be.
Let's get Tion. Tion being the businessman, he's like, yo, I'll do this, but I need a beat. He's negotiated one beat quickly. Bro, he's coming, he's done his verse, and I'm just listening to the song. I'm saying, bro, if this song don't bang and I don't know music, man.
No.
Like I've never been so confident.
And
in
it's
a song.
nuts. Like I feel like we might have started doing that. Playing. This is only one of the songs that we also played to a lot of people. Remember we went on tour with Hardy? Then when we got to Hardy to come and listen to the song, we got like I don't know. We're so gassed about the song. He done the same thing.
Yeah, I checked
it. Like, it was just like come listen to this song we made. I don't know. The options had a different energy, and it's nuts that what it done is that. People sometimes say like, did you know I was going to do this? I wouldn't say I knew the numbers would do how long, but I definitely knew it was going to be big. I knew it was going to be big.
Top 10.
Yeah, but I knew it was going to be big. I definitely think top 10 because they're going to do top 100. So,
don't even look at that.
everything about the song, the way Tion came in his presence, I done diamonds. Like, bruv.
Yeah.
The energy
chill out.
The energy for that song was phenomenal.
Like, yeah, it was just positive. It was good, and also, like, you see when you do features with artists, sometimes artists don't engage. Yeah, is that Tion was really engaged.
No, big him up 10 times.
He's chasing. Like, when are we doing the video?
Nice.
He's engaged. Like, so
And those
everything.
songs that always do the if you have a feature sometimes in the artist like and it's full, you might as well not release it.
Yeah. I've learned that lesson.
You might as well
I don't
release
like
it.
in my career. People be surprised. I take artists off songs so much, yeah, and it's just because I can feel the energy. And I like the artist, and we're cool. But like a lot of people don't know, Dave was originally on Dimensions.
Oh,
It was originally Dave.
Okay.
And like I could just tell, like either he weren't feeling it or the timing wasn't right, or something weren't right. Whereas I'm playing to Skepta and his energy is like, yo, bro, if we're not shooting this video in the next 2 weeks, Jay, I can't do it because I need this out. This is how I'm feeling right now. The end SARS, and the energy is like, yo, I'm doing this song with Skep, bro. Do you get me? And when I called Dave and I was like, yo, I'm putting Skep thing on. He wasn't upset, he wasn't thinking, now I knew he didn't even want to do it. Yeah. if he thought the song was a banger, he would have been vexed. If I called him and told him I was taking him off Propeller, he would have had words for me. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I realised the energy of a song, when you're putting out a song, the artist involved is mad important. It's mad important.
That song done I remember when it first came out, I think it was in Nigeria and Ghana. That Dimension song was so huge. Everywhere.
I'm so pissed I didn't go. So like,
yeah, like remember, I think it was that every you come, like it was in everywhere you go. That song.
Do you know what it is? It was a bad phase in my life here because I started looking at numbers. I started checking the numbers. So these men are telling me I've got a hit. I'm like, but it's only on 2 million streams. But everyone's telling me the song's a hit.
Yeah.
It's not adding up. Like it's doing well in the street, but clubs, I'm not getting. So before, I'm not checking numbers because I go out. I'm going to the club. They're banging friendly. I'm not checking the numbers because I know you're rinsing it. But there's no club for me to go to, so there's no metric for me to measure. Yeah, so the only measure I really have is the numbers, and the numbers ain't saying hit. Do you get me? So I'm like, nah. And then people start sending me videos. Dude, these men are Nigeria. And then I went Nigeria a whole year after. No. And it was still.
Dimension also became one of them songs, the highlight song when it came on.
Trust me.
I feel that song that I was even like videos of people like singing the song almost crying and that song touched me.
After that song, when I was in Ghana, people forgot I was OGD, like Jae5.
That happens bears. I go Ghana, when these are having a hit, MSG, OGD. They're chasing, they got OGD.
They forgot who I was, fam. I remember that, fam. That was popular still.
That's nuts, man.
I think, like songs like that reminded me that, bro. Like,
I feel like that song is what stamped you in Africa as well.
Yeah, it did.
Okay. Like for
see, now your social media fan base is nuts. That song stamped it.
It was mad.
I might have not been there. I don't know. I didn't really check the charts in UK, but in Africa, I can tell that song was.
No, but I'm thinking when we went there, every corner of it. Because remember we went to Ghana and Nigeria back to back, and I was like, by the time we went to both countries, and that's all you see left. I was like, bro, this song is gone.
Songs have different purposes. That song really, really was important for me. Like it made my thing. Like even like for example, let's say Propeller, which is doing well. Yeah, it went into, let's say, the Nigerian charts, went into the top 10, maybe fall out about 2-3 weeks later. We was number 1 in Nigeria for like 4 months with Dimensions because culturally it was a cultural song, not a chart song. Yeah, I got so used to it. It got to a point where everything that we do with NSG, Huss, Dave, we was like everything was going top 20 was like was fighting our platinums. So I'm like, bro, it's not even gold. It's not even silver. Like I just had wrong expectations of what music is. I didn't make music for that. So like I was, now that I look back at it, that phase, that point, like, I'm disappointed in how I was looking at music at that time. Yeah, because it also made me stop working with people. Looking at, he's not big enough. Looking at the name, like, bro, my brother was said, "What are you doing, bro? You ain't releasing no music." Like, bro, who should I work with? There's no one to work with. I feel like I've done it. It was just, bro, now I work with anyone, bro. Look at them, don't even check the numbers. Oh, it sounds sick. Yeah, book the session.
Let's go. That's sick, man. It's interesting, like how we're in a change of UK sound now and how everything's gone a little bit more harsh. And how do you manage to stick to yourselves and knowing your essence and what you bring to the game? Because it's easy to think this is the sound now, we need to get in on there, if that makes sense.
I think I would say about our stuff here, it's like Afrobeats is getting bigger now. Our sound can't really die out. It's about how we sound like Jae5. It's very cultural, and he's got his pop stuff in there, but it's very cultural. So how is it gonna it will go everywhere. Like it does. I don't think the genre change is gonna affect anything. It might not. Something like, I'll use energy for example. We might not be here in top 100s or top 20s as before because people want to hear drill, but we're getting bigger every day.
Yeah, and you see Afrobeats, I feel like sometimes people don't understand. You see, like, for example, you look at genres and you have dubstep, for example. Dubstep will have its phase. It never really dies, but it's not in the forefront. Yeah. You can't compare Afrobeats to dubstep. Afrobeats is like hip hop.
That's
Forever.
that's what
There's certain genres.
It's culture.
There's like
It's
like a top four.
Generally just culture.
Yeah, there's
Culture never dies.
Yeah, there's like
Afrobeats is genuine our culture. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Culture can't die.
you can do that
Afrobeats is a
forever.
bit different.
yeah, it's forever. It's like hip hop's not going. I don't care what phase you're going through.
Like,
If someone drops a banging hip hop
the Black
song,
Americans culture, you know what I mean?
It's gonna
It
bang.
can't go anywhere.
Can't
Same with Afrobeats is African culture. It
yeah,
can't go
it
anywhere.
can't go anywhere.
People
So
didn't Afrobeats for how long?
when it comes to those, I know I'm in the right. Even though the drill thing, like, do you know how many people like, yo, you dying out drill's popping? I was like, bro, I don't make drill. I just don't. And I'll make it thing, but I'll be leeching off of. I've let M1 and that have it. Like they're killing it. They're good at it. Why am I gonna try and do their thing and they're better than me at it? Let me do what I'm good at. You get me? And then if I link up with them and collaborate, we can do some next thing.
Yeah.
But me trying to, just because I'm trying, nah, man, I'm not on it. And there's other artists and producers who I've seen, just some people have managed to phase into quite well and do it, and others have ruined their careers just trying to
100%.
chase it and they've ended themselves.
People don't associate no identity no more.
Yeah, now you're like, what do I come to you for?
Yeah, I get you. I hear you. It's an interesting way of looking at it. Man.
There's like there's artists that are having moments that are huge, having huge songs, and I'm like, bro, when the drill dies, I want to see what you do after that, because like you've lost what we come to you for.
Yeah, it's true. It's very, very true. I got two. I got loads more, but I need to
Cut it short. You got some editing to do, mate.
to two. What do I want to say? All right. So past all that we've spoken about. So everything we've spoken about, leave that there. What's one moment from there to here that you're really proud of right now? Obviously, you had the Roots tour that was in and around there, but what's something from all that we've spoken about to present day that you're proud of?
For me personally, as these we'll talk about, is like the culture, the fact that I feel like with NSG, we've been honest with ourselves in terms of sound from the very start till to now. Like from Wine and Koch, we represented what we stand for to the music, the last release, which was Indica, to today. It's not say it's a bad thing, because some people see music as a bit strictly business. Whatever is selling is what I'm going for, innit? I feel like we've also highly put like this art as well. I'm trying to be true to myself, and we've done that. Personally, I think we've done that from the start to today. You know what I mean? We're just energy. We've been ourselves. That's one thing I'm proud of, and it's hard to do that when you feel like there's different stuff coming. This might be doing more numbers here. Doing, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. You end up like if you just end up just chasing the business side instead of this is numbers, everything numbers. You might that short term success. You get that short term success, but you kill long term success. Like, you kill yourself off in the long term.
I've been guilty of that one.
What about you? Like one thing you're proud of to present day?
I was gonna say something like that, but another thing I would say is it's a bit random. I would say like OT, but just because I produced it,
Was that your one? That was your one.
That was me going top 20 as a producer. So it's like, fuck shit. I was not rapping before anything. I was literally recording these guys. So I was like, yeah, cool. So that kind of made me think, all right, you know what? Start taking this more serious. Don't just see us down here and record.
I think for me, because you're saying from this point on.
Yeah, from everything we spoke about to present.
Honestly, it would just be the transition to trying to be an artist. Because if you know me, I hate cameras. I'm camera shy. I'm not an artist by any means. But like, I've always wanted to. When I was doing dubstep stuff, I wanted to put my name on songs and stuff. But I'm proud that like man's really making an effort, and people don't understand how awkward it is to be around people who are very comfortable on camera. You're standing next to Dave and Skepta. These men are Skepta especially. Like you see Skepta and Rema, Skepta and Rema be chilling, and as soon as the camera comes, the way they can turn it on like that, they man are actors. They're amazing at it. Me, I could be dancing, I'm vibes, and as soon as the camera comes on, I'll miss a step. I'm off beat. It's just like. So like, I'm actually proud that I just say, F this, man. I make enough money producing. But I'm actually firming it on this one and saying, I'm gonna really ride it. I think that's what I'm proud of, because normally I just say, producing things really nice, fob this thing off, and like people don't realize how hard it is. The hardest thing about doing this artist thing is dealing with artists. Okay. Like, as I said, I had to take Dave off of Dimensions originally. Propeller, we shot the video almost a year ago.
Is it?
It's taken us a year to get the video out. Do you know what I mean? Like, you got to get clearances, you got to get things. and it's
Align with
draining.
people's
I have my next release ready. I thought it was ready. The other day I get a call saying you can't drop it because this person is saying you can't do it. It's mad. And every other week I go, I don't want to do this artist thing no more, man. Let me just make beats, man. Do you know what I mean? And then man's like, nah, bro. Like, bruv, we're doing it. You started.
This artist thing is going off with you. You have a great start.
No, like I'm 2 songs in. Like I'm only 2 songs in. So like I'm happy with what man's achieved because technically I'm a new artist. Like I'm 2 songs in. So it's going good. But yeah, it's definitely not an easy thing for a producer to do, especially when you're working with artists that are a lot bigger than you. You have to work on their schedule. Like, for example, if I was DJ Khaled, I can guarantee everyone will just drop the verse and be at the video.
Yeah.
Everyone that kind of does a song for you feels they're doing a favour. And so everything you've done as a producer don't really count anymore because
As soon as you step into that artist lane,
because it's like,
so interesting.
why should I do this for you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like, I appreciate, you see like people like Dave and Skepta and Rema and Budju, I got time for them because they actually done me a favour by letting me, bro, there's people that can't collect a Dave verse. It's not easy, do you know what I mean? So for that love, like, I appreciate that still.
That's one. That's good to
Yeah,
know.
one more last thing I'll say I'm proud of is us even connecting back to Africa.
Yeah, that I'm so inspiring
it's so sick. Like as I'm saying, people say that the core roots of where music and all that originated is Africa. That stuff. The fact you can connect back is amazing. I've watched documentaries of people like Bob Marley that was selling arenas around the whole world, and he was so sad that people in Africa was not even taking him in. You know what I mean? Like this is who Bob Marley is. He's selling out 8,000. The guy's coming after the show. He's like, he's angry. Why am I not seeing black people at my show? Like it was that, and I'm like, bro, we're doing this stuff not with ease, but we're doing that. We have tweets and you have Kenyans or Ugandans going nuts over our stuff. We're connecting to the roots or core of what we are doing, which is Afrobeats. We're connected to where it originates from. I think that's one of my proudest things as well.
Yeah.
Definitely want to take it, but even seeing Roots tour, the artwork, everything. Like, I look at everything, and
that tour was one of the best tours ever.
Best
I
tour,
swear
man.
to God.
Yeah.
It was
Energy wise, everything.
the love, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like Michael Jackson for a couple days now.
I'm not joking, you know.
I'm not his level at all,
That's
but
it.
bro,
Yeah,
people
yeah.
chasing down cars, like security, like bro,
man.
it's nuts
Bro.
there.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Bro, I'm in Africa and they're chasing my car screaming. I'm saying, these men are living different.
Sick though, man.
Like,
It's
it's
sick.
nuts.
No, good. And just to wrap up everything, as you guys, as a family, the brothers, I know your mum must be so proud as well. What have you learnt from each other? Whether it's music, life, it could be fatherhood, anything. Just in general, what have you learnt from each other?
Everything you just said.
Everything,
Yeah.
bro. We like, you know what's funny in our household? Yeah, we generally, like, I'll call my brother and be like, "Yo, this is what man's going through." We actually generally have that thing. So I'll ask his advice on certain things. He studied economics and stuff like that. I'll call and ask his advice on business, blah blah blah. If I'm looking for something to do with production or creativity, I'll call Dennis because he relates more than. If I need some other things, like I might be able to relate, I'll call my older brother. Like Thomas, I'll call, like, we generally actually operate as a family. So everything you just said is that I continuously learn a lot from my brothers. It's not just actually speech. It's not.
It's just what you see.
It's generally actually that, bro. If you actually ask people that are around us, it's in general, it's just like, yo, bro, like, that's how we are.
That's nice. That's good.
My mum made sure it's that way, and I always appreciate it for that.
Yeah. This is sick fun. Thank you guys very much for your time. Appreciate it. These are the moments of my career that I enjoy the most, to be honest, man. Like,
I love
you guys have done so well, and you're gonna continue to do so. So I feel bad for chasing you down for the album now.
Bro, I would have dropped that album time ago. If I'm to drop those 2 songs, remember I've dropped 1 song each year, and I've been fighting to drop those songs. Bro, I've probably got 30 songs on this computer. It's
Ready to
dealing with artists, dealing with their clearance, and I can't even be angry because man will tell you I'm dropping my album, bro. I don't want to hear about what you're talking about right now. Let me do my thing. And just they're like, but my thing can help your thing. They're like, not really. Not really. Like, Jay, chill out. Do you know what I mean? You just have to do you know what I mean? Just cool off until you've built yourself big enough for you to actually be an asset to the artist, because that's the position you want to be in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I linked, man. Like, I remember when I linked Budju's team, and like, he was on his come up, but he wasn't as big as he was now. And then now we've dropped. A year later, has waited. He's got a lot bigger. So when I linked him, we had 4 or 5 songs ready to just drop, and he would say, "Drop it now." Now I say, "Yo, boss, listen. I'm not the same guy you met last year. I have a schedule. You just gotta respect it." Yeah, so it changes. Saying, "Boss, put them songs on hold, bro." Do you know what I mean?
That's
So,
sick, man. that's it. Well, I feel like there's so much we could have spoke about. We just even just scratched the surface there, but
No, it's all good. Anytime.
it's nice. Yeah, thank you very much. It's nice to capture these things as well, man. It's nice to capture these things big time. So,
I'm happy with it, man. Thank you for having us, man.
No problem.
Because of the sensitivity of the mic,
Yeah.
you notice some parts are distorted and some parts are... If I turn it low, the other one's...
Yeah.